So we've spent the last few days really analyzing the structure of a text. We looked at all the parts of the plot mountain and we determined how the writer organizes the story around that plot mountain. We looked at what techniques the writer uses within each parts of the plot mountain, like dialogue or inner thinking or character description or setting description or scene endings and beginnings. And then we tried to determine the purpose of those techniques. Like, does it reveal character traits? Does it create tension or suspense? Does it foreshadow some events in the plot? Does it show that the character has changed in some way? Or does it resolve a problem? So the only reason that you ever do that kind of close reading is to look at how all of those parts fit together and look for patterns. And those patterns can help us think about how and why all of those parts fit together and how they develop themes. Okay, that's the big reason that you do that kind of close reading, is so that you can determine what the theme of a text is. You can also think about what the author's purpose of a text is. So that's why we've been doing all this work. So we're at the stage now where we can look at all of those annotations that we made that name the purpose of those techniques, and we can start to look for patterns in those notes that we made. So the next step in this close reading ritual is to identify patterns and ask questions like, how are all of these parts similar? What keeps happening over and over and over again? What purpose do these parts serve? Okay, so we're going to take a look tomorrow in class at all of those annotations and see where we can identify lots of similarities in those annotations that we made about the purpose of the text. Because anytime you're doing this kind of work, you have to step back and say, well, so what? Why did the writer create the text this way? What's the point? Why did all of that inner thinking reveal this kind of tension? And what does that tension really tell us about the characters? So once you kind of slow down, you recognize the patterns, then you can think about what those patterns reveal to us, the reader. How do they help us understand the character in a deeper way? How do they help us understand what the theme of the story is, or the main idea of the text is? So that's the third step, is to look for patterns and understand how those patterns can create the theme of the story.